You probably have people in your life who endorse and support you being a loser. I don't want friends in my life. I want allies in my life.
Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show.
Hey, what's happening, friends? Welcome to the Bedros Keuilian Show. I'm Bedros Keuilian, and today I want to talk to you about something that I believe is going to change your life. In fact, the reason I wanted to do this episode is because I get so many messages from people asking me, how do I fix my life? And so if you're looking to fix your life, this is the topic today. But first, I want to lean into sharing some gratitude with you. And here's why, man. Listen, this episode, this show, the Bedros Keuilian Show, these are all solo episodes, which means there's no guest across from me that I'm going to interview and then have them share the content and then get their followers, subscribers, likes, comments, etc. It is you and me literally building this show. And I want to thank you guys. I want to show appreciation and gratitude because this is growing on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube faster than ever. The Bedros Keuilian Show is a byproduct of you and me doing the work together to get this message out. So if you get any value from these episodes that I put out, all I ask is for one thing, and that is to engage in the content. I don't care if you engage by subscribing, engage by commenting, engage by liking, or engage by sharing. But if I could ask you anything, it is to engage if I'm able to deliver the value. So with that said, let's hop into it, and we're going to have a great time here. Listen, I want to tell you guys a story. I feel like we're all friends here, right? So if we're all friends on the BK Show, and I kind of see us as a tribe of men evolving, working, growing, and really going from that 1.0 self to the 2.0 self, I figure we're family. We're like a brotherhood. And ladies, I know there's about 4, 5, 6% of my audience that are women, and great, welcome, enjoy, and hang out with us because this content here will benefit everyone anyways. But since we're all friends and family, I do want to share somewhat of a cautionary tale and also a bit of a funny story because I'm very transparent about my life. I've told you everything from the police helicopter chase that I've been in to the fight on the airplane where I had to restrain someone, to every dumb, stupid shit I've done that served as a cautionary tale, or every great thing that I've accomplished in life that is hopefully going to serve as an example to you, right, in your life. And so with that said, some of you may know, because I posted this on social media, on Instagram, on YouTube communities, in May, a few months back, I tore my tricep. Now, the jury's still out. I've got orthopedic surgeons telling me that I need to get a surgery to get it reattached. However, I've got some really good therapists, physical therapists working on it right now with all types of treatments to hopefully get what is left of the tendon that is attached to get stronger and put me in a place where I don't have to get that surgery, right? But if I have to, I will. That's a story for another day. By the way, guys, please do me a favor. Do not reach out to me with like medical advice and you should try this and fish oil and that. I appreciate it and I love you guys, but I've got so many great people that have reached out to me since May. I'm literally doing everything. Like I'm on growth hormone. I'm on the BPC 157, TB 500. I got the best physical therapists. I'm doing the blood restriction cuffs, blood flow restriction cuffs that I'm using. I'm doing it all and I'm getting the results. The tendon is getting stronger. The muscle is getting stronger. The one thing I didn't want to do is stop working out, so I'm working around my tricep. And you're probably wondering, what does all this have to do with anything, B? Well, here it is. There I was in the gym. Now imagine your tricep, right, stabilizes any kind of pressing movement you're doing, chest presses, shoulder presses, especially with free weights. So I haven't been able to do much free weight pressing. So what I do is I take dumbbells, like on shoulder day, I'll take dumbbells and I'll do dumbbell side laterals for my delts, and I'll do dumbbell front raises, and I'll use lighter weight, anywhere from 17 to 25 to maybe 30-pound front raises, right? And then I'll do a whole bunch of side laterals with 25-pound dumbbells. So there I was. And when I do these side raises, I really want to get a full range of motion. So if you could imagine, I bring those dumbbells as I'm doing them standing in the gym. And this particular day, there I was using a public gym. Now, you guys know that I have my own gym, BK Strength, right down the street here. It's for me and my team and my clients. It's it's not a paid for gym. It was just our own gym that we built out. This day, my gym was being used, was being filmed in. So I decided to use the local gym here in town. And I went in and I'm doing literally the last set of dumbbell flies, side laterals, right, for my shoulders. And what I like to do is I like to bring the two ends, the pinky ends, down in front of me and just gently touch them in front of me, right below my belly button. And then I bring them all the way up and I touch them above my head. And so I'm doing these high reps, like reps of like 20, 25. And on the last set where I was doing 27 and a half pounds and I wanted to do 12 reps, and my shoulders were getting really exhausted. When I brought the dumbbell down right in front of me, remember I'm standing for that last rep, and as the two ends of the dumbbells touched, I fucking whacked my junk. I whacked my junk so hard, Ed. I mean, man, now here's Ed's behind the camera laughing. He's just hanging on every word I'm talking about. It's like he wants to know what the fuck happened. This is crazy. It's a dangerous situation, Ed. So there I was, man. The dumbbells, thankfully I didn't hit the main situation, but I did pinch the skin on the top, Ed. And in that moment, all you want to do, all you men, y'all know what I'm talking about. Like when any kind of if you get that bad boy stuck in your zipper because you like to free ball and go commando and not wear underwear, Ed's laughing up a storm back there. You get that thing stuck in the zipper. Well, you go up, you get it stuck in the zipper. You got to go back down over it, right? To free the fucking thing, to free Willy. Well, what ends up happening here is I fucking whack it so hard with 27-pound dumbbells. I immediately feel like I was struck by the lightning bolt of Zeus. And I drop the dumbbells and I try and maintain composure because I'm Bedros Keuilian at a public gym and I've said hi to people and shaken hands. We've taken some selfies and such. And now I can feel my junk throbbing. I'm confident that any minute now, you're gonna see blood running down my shorts, down my legs, because I know I just busted skin. So I grab my gym bag, I'm comfortably but urgently walking to the locker room. I go into the stall, I gather myself, and I pull my pants away from my body, my shorts away from my body, and holy fuck, this thing looks like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, man. It's like all like blue and swollen immediately, Ed. Like it was like bleeding from both ends where the dumbbells hit, right? And there was like, bro, there was skin, like a piece of skin flopped off. And I didn't know what to do with it. Like, do I put it back on? Like someone's toupee, right? Like, do you put the toupee back on, or do you fucking cut it off? I didn't know what to do, man. And so thankfully the body is resilient. Over the next week and a half or so, it healed. I do have a scar on me now, and I can definitely say it's a battle scar. But after 30 years of working out in the gym, man, I've had all types of muscle injuries. I've never had a cock injury until now, and I blame my torn tricep for it. So with that said, we can probably make this a full-on solo episode by itself as a cautionary tale for all of you working out. And I know what some of these fools are saying too. They're like, see, you talk about getting jacked and making money, and all those people, all those fools who leave comments that go, yeah, man, you don't have to work out. Working out, it's not for everybody, blah, blah, blah. And see, now Bedros got hurt. He damaged his junk in the gym. That's proof that you shouldn't be working out. Needless to say, the next day I was in the gym working out again. So, but for about a week and a half, I had a damaged tricep and a damaged junk. And let me tell you, that did not look well. Black and blue and scabs. And man, if there was I don't know if there's an STD that makes something look that bad, but that was it. Like if there's an STD that makes something look that bad, that was it. But it was two fucking dumbbells whacking my shit. So with that said, let's get started. This is the episode that's going to change your life. And what I really want to talk to you guys about is the thing that matters most, which is the reputation that you have with yourself, fellas. You know, if you want to fix your life, if you really want to have an awesome life, you want to make good money, you want to have great relationships, you want to have a great sense of meaning and purpose in your life, then what you really got to do is fix your life. And that's the thing I hear from people all the time. It's like, well, how do I fix my life? It starts with one simple thing, and that is your reputation with yourself. And your reputation with yourself is your credit score, right? Think about this. We all have a credit score. Your credit score may not be the best, or it may be the best, but if you have a high credit score, in the high 700s, 800s, then people As in businesses, we'll trust you with a car, we'll trust you with the house, we'll trust you with products. Credit card companies will give you lower interest rates the higher your credit score, because you have proven that you are reliable, you are consistent, and you don't miss out, right? That you are a reliable person. Well, just like that, there's also a credit score that you ought to have with yourself, just like you ought to have with others, right? Every one of us have a reputation. Your reputation, how people perceive you, how people talk about you, how people think of you, all of that is your reputation, your personal credit score. And if you want to know how to build your personal credit score, I'm going to tell you. Listen, I stopped taking all of those and I started taking this, the Keuilian Wellness Shot. In fact, I created this because I was sick and tired of every morning taking 11 different supplements like turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, black pepper, vitamin B12, echinacea, vitamin C, zinc, right? Think about this. If you want to improve your immune system, if you want to fight off inflammation in your body so that you have better gut health, you have more energy, your joints don't hurt, then you're going to want to take all those supplements. And I was taking it twice a day, every day. And so when we created the Keuilian Wellness Shot, we cut no corners and we spared no expense. And so in this, you've got something that's going to not only help boost your immune system, but also fight off inflammation. Because if you're a high performer and if you want to get more done, if you want to stay more focused, if you want to make sure that you don't get sick as frequently, then you have to care about your immune system and you have to fight off inflammation, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're high performing and you have a stressful work day from time to time, right? And so here's what I want you to do. You're going to click on the link in the description box or go to Keuilian.com and you're going to use the code word Bedros. And when you use my name, Bedros, you'll get 50% off your first subscribe and save bundle. For whatever reason you don't like the Keuilian Wellness Shot, which I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't, then let us know in your first 30 days. We'll give you a full refund. Part ways as friends. Fair enough? Go check it out. Use the code word Bedros. Get 50% off. Peace. It's about keeping promises to yourself. Because if you're not keeping the promises to yourself, what you're really doing is you are eroding your personal credibility with yourself. And when you erode your credibility, you begin to break your promises. You effectively ruin your reputation with the person that matters most, which is self. Think about that for a moment, right? If you want to really be a reliable person, a person that people look up to, people that see as an example of a good human, a role model, well, you probably need good, consistent habits and behaviors that are going to set you up to be a winner in life. That means you need great reputation with yourself. And if you promise yourself that you're going to wake up at a certain time and then you hit the snooze button on your phone and you go back to sleep, you broke a promise, right? If you say you're going to go work out in the morning at 9 a.m., but then you don't make it to the gym, you broke that promise. If you say that you're going to eat clean all day long, but then you eat, ho-hos and ding-dongs and you end up having big, fat, floppy bologna tits, guess what? You have broken a promise to yourself, right? And so when you break these promises, you begin to erode your reputation. And I'm here to tell you that the reason most people break promises to themselves is because they are too comfortable. Like the reason that you don't have this high reputation with yourself is because you are too comfortable in your life, too comfortable, too complacent, right? And when things are comfortable and you're complacent, you don't really have a sense of urgency to make a change, right? Oftentimes we think that, I want to do something. I want to be a better person. I want to start making more money. I want to be healthier. I want to have better relationships. I want to improve my relationship. I want to find someone to have a relationship with. But if the urgency factor is not there, you're really not going to do it if you're comfortable and you're complacent. If you're just doing enough to get by, you're not really going to do anything about it. But if the pain was great enough, which means now you're out of your zone of comfort, now you're going to lean into it, right? And so number one, the reason that you haven't fixed your life and that you keep breaking promises to yourself is because you are too comfortable. Number two, you hate yourself. Let's be honest. You obviously hate yourself. If you are making promises and then breaking them, not keeping your promises, breaking your reputation with yourself, breaking promises to others, and therefore your reputation with others is eroding, you not only hate yourself, but you hate the people that love you. Because if you truly loved yourself, you would keep your promises and you would honor them, right? I mean, don't you want to be the best person that you can be? Don't you want to become the best version of a man you can be, the man that you admire, that you love, that you trust, and then give yourself to that woman? give yourself to that relationship, give yourself to that business, give yourself to that friendship? Of course you do. But if you're giving the worst version of yourself, the lazy self, the self that breaks promises, that lies, that is addicted to vices, you know you want to stop drinking, you want to stop snorting or smoking, you want to stop binge watching, you want to stop being a loser, you want to stop being a crop duster and become a fighter jet in life. You make these promises, but each time you break those promises, you think that it's just a small little promise. What's the big deal? I'll start again on Monday. But what you're doing is you're telling your subconscious mind that you're a goddamn loser. And if you're telling your subconscious mind that you're a goddamn loser, you are literally telling yourself that you hate yourself. I hate myself so much that even though I know I need to eat clean, wake up early, get my workouts, do my work, show gratitude, journal, do whatever the fuck you need to do, right? To become a better human, you put that off. That is self-hate at the highest level. What's even worse is that you probably have people in your life. You probably have a significant other. You probably have a mom or a dad. You probably have siblings. You probably have friends who love you, who care for you, who want the best for you. By you breaking these promises to yourself and to them, you also hate them. That's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. And so when you don't love yourself and you don't show love to others because you have eroded your reputation, what do you have left? You are a loser, right? That's the facts. And I'm not trying to shit on you because I think you're a bad person. I don't think you have anyone in your life that's willing to tell you this stuff. I really don't think you've got anyone in your life, fellas, that is willing to tell you that the way you're conducting yourself, the way you're living your life, by taking the shortcuts, by hitting the snooze, by not going the extra mile, by not going into the gym, by not eating clean, by making excuses. Think about this, man. You probably have people in your life who endorse and support you being a loser. I don't know a better way to say it, but that's the facts. See, I don't want friends in my life. I want allies in my life. And if I have friends in my life, and when I go, yeah, man, I was going to wake up early and work out today, but I didn't sleep well, so I ended up sleeping in and not working out in the morning. They're going to go, oh man, a friend is going to go, oh man, I understand. I understand why you're going to do that. I would have done that too. An ally, on the other hand, would say, you know what, dude? Fuck you and your excuses. You should not have missed that workout. You should have woken up even if you didn't sleep well. You should have woken up even if you had nightmares. You should have gotten up and worked out and eaten right, even if you tossed and turned all night. Because an ally is someone who wants the best for you. A friend is someone who will endorse your excuses and keep you comfortable and complacent. That is not what you want. I don't want a friend. I want allies in my life who will call me out on my shit so that I stop breaking promises to myself and I start loving myself, respecting myself, admiring myself. It's only then, my friend, that you will love others and be able to gift the best version of yourself to the world, right? If you're wondering why people don't listen to you, if you're wondering why your business isn't successful, if you're wondering why life kind of sucks for you, right? I'm telling you right now, it's because you keep breaking promises to yourself. No one wants to listen, follow, do business with a hypocrite, a loser. And even if you think that they don't know these things about you, about your vices, about the fact that you quit on yourself, that you break promises, they do, because there's an energy, there's a frequency that you give off as a loser that everyone can feel. They can feel it through social media. They can feel it through text messages. They can feel it in person. They can smell it. And so if you're that person who keeps making excuses and breaking those promises, you're not going to be happy in any category of life. Instead, you're going to end up DMing me, well, how do I fix my life? I'm telling you, do this one thing. Start keeping the promises to yourself. Now, how do you keep those promises? I think the best way is to have consequences. Because if you have consequences in place, then you will start keeping those promises. Think about this. In this building, in our headquarters here, We have several different companies of mine that we run. Fit Body Bootcamp, True Lean, supplements, my coaching business, right? Amongst others. And we have a bunch of team members who work for all those different organizations and companies. We are a very fiercely competitive team here. And if someone is not meeting the expectations and standards that their team has set in place, they start to feel a sense of pressure. They know that there's going to be a consequence. The consequence might be that team member, one of their team members might have a talking to them. The consequence might be they might be out of a job. When the consequences are high, you will begin to keep your promises. That's one way, right? Think about this, like in prisons, there's consequences. Like if you don't do things right, if you don't do things the way they're supposed to be, in prison, there are consequences. In gangs, where I grew up in Santa Ana, California, like there were so many gangs out there and they had their fucking rules. They had their fucking promises to themselves. And if they didn't follow through with it, there would be consequences. Someone's getting stabbed. Someone's getting beat up. Someone's going to have to pay the price for it. There are no consequences in your soft, comfortable, bubble-wrapped life. And if you don't have these consequences to deal with, you don't have any sense of urgency to do anything about it. Now, little do you know, your wife might be like, man, I don't respect this motherfucker. He's a fat, floppy, gelatinous-tittied, baloney-tittied loser. Comes home, doesn't go work out, takes his clothes off and leaves it all over the place. Like, why am I with this guy? But she's probably not telling you this. In fact, she's probably enabling you, right? This is that friend mentality. She's not an ally to you. If she was, she would say, sit down, motherfucker. If you want me to be the best fucking wife that you can have, then you're going to have to be the best fucking husband that I expect. See, people don't have these ally conversations anymore. They just want to do the live and let live thing. And what ends up happening when you do the old live and let live is you let people degrade and degenerate themselves into human animals. And a human animal does what they feel like. A human animal does what their emotions tell them to do. A human animal does whatever selfishly suits them in the moment. A human being who's connected to consciousness, a human being says, I will do whatever I need to do, even if I feel this way. I will do the things that I promise to myself and to others because I am a man of high standards and reputation with myself. The number one person I don't want to let down is me. And so if I'm not going to let myself down, I have to do these things even if I don't feel like it, even if I'm tired, even if it's cold outside, even if it's raining. Even if I just didn't sleep well last night, I have to do the things that I promised myself to be able to build my personal credit score, my reputation with myself. And so listen, if you are not doing these things, and by the way, these consequences are everywhere. You need to build consequences into everything. Like for example, I've got friends who are from all the different categories of special operations in the military, right? And they are the most predatory dudes on the planet. It doesn't matter if they're Green Berets. It doesn't matter if they're SEALs. It doesn't matter if they're Rangers. If they are on a mission and they're doing something and one of their buddies fucks up, was careless, forgot something, put them in a position where they could have been ambushed, shot at, potentially killed. When that mission is over, and these guys have told me this face to face, they will handle that guy. They will deal with that guy. They will physically handle that guy afterwards, setting consequences in place so that he never forgets what he needs to do, and he's constantly reminded to step up and meet the expectations of the team. So if you haven't put yourself in a high-speed environment, and I don't care if that's a workplace, if that's a sports team, if that is going and doing jujitsu or some kind of martial arts, any kind of high-speed environment where there's a greater expectation of you, then you probably don't have consequences to face, and therefore it's easier for you to break promises, right? That's just the facts, right? The other factor is you probably don't see yourself as a role model. See, if you saw yourself as a role model to your kids, to your spouse, to your friends, your community, to your siblings, your mom and dad, if you saw yourself as a role model of someone who's healthy, and I mean healthy physically, mentally, emotionally, someone who is financially right, someone who loves and cares for others, someone who shows up on time and respects the time of others. If you saw yourself as a role model in every category of life, in friendships, relationships, business, life, to your kids, you would never do anything to let these people down. Once again, a consequence, right? Because when you see yourself as a role model, you go the extra mile. You have a higher sense of urgency. You have now set excellence as the lowest bar to achieve. And that is what you want in life. If you want to have a high credit score with yourself and others, you want to have a strong reputation with yourself and others, so that before you even show up to a room, people are talking good about you. You have to keep those promises, and that means excellence has to be the lowest bar that you've set in life, right? Personal excellence must be the lowest expectation that you've set. Imagine if I'm like, well, I tore my tricep, therefore I can't work out at all. If you've been following me on social media, then you guys know that the first 3 or 4 weeks when my arm was black and blue and I had like virtually no range of motion, I couldn't even do flies and any kind of like cable flies, nothing like that. I was training legs 3 times a week and then just training my right side as much as I could. I never once skipped or missed a workout. Because if I see myself as a role model to you, if I see myself as an example to you, why would I ever use my torn tricep as an excuse to not work out and to start getting out of shape and to not represent myself how I expect you to represent yourself? So I have consequences. I have consequences here with my team. If I don't work out and I start to get fat and out of shape, I'm effectively giving my team the green light to lower the bar of expectations for themselves. We will start making less money. We will be less organized. We will get gobbled up and eaten by our competition. But it doesn't matter what happens, whether it's an injury or a bad night of sleep, the expectations are always the same. Make your promises and keep them no matter what. So I hope you understand, man, the value of keeping your promises. It's not just like, hey, I'll be fit, I'll be jacked, I'll make a little more money, I'll have a better relationship. Like the reason you are suffering in silence, the reason you have anxiety, you have depression, you're overwhelmed, you have like these panic attacks, is because your conscience, your highest self, your inner self, your conscience is like, hey, motherfucker, you are incongruent with the man you want to be. And I'm going to show up as anxiety, depression, overwhelm, stress, panic attacks until you do something about it. And of course, what do? Most of you out there will go and get medicated, either by prescription for your anxieties and depressions, or you'll get medicated by way of weed, vape pens, alcohol, food, binge watching television, pornography, whatever the fuck it is. You will start leaning into these vices in order to escape your reality, in order to run away from your conscience, which is your higher self, who is with you at all times and sees that you are operating as a human animal. You are operating below your expectations that you've set for yourself. And therefore, conscience will show up as anxiety and depression and overwhelm to shake your ass into action. Now, whether you delay that, put it off, ignore it, try and escape from it, try and medicate yourself from it, it's going to keep coming around and getting worse and getting worse. So not only do you have a bad reputation, do you feel bad about yourself, not only do others feel like you're a loser and you have a bad reputation with them, but you're also constantly in a bad state of mind in terms of the anxiety and depression and your state of mental health. And all you got to do to fix that life of yours is one thing. Make a promise and fucking keep it. Guys, I hope that I was able to influence you, to persuade you that you will make these promises and keep them. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I want you guys to let me know in the comments the one thing you're going to do, the one promise that you're going to keep for 30 days straight. Let me know in the comment section what that one promise is that you're going to make to yourself and keep it. I don't care if it's consistently working out at 9 a.m. or 5 a.m. I don't care if it's waking up at a certain time and not hitting the snooze button. I don't care if it's reading 10 pages out of a self-help book. I don't care if it's drinking 1.5 gallons of water a day, but one positive thing that you're going to do on a consistent basis for yourself for the next 30 days without breaking a single day. Leave that in the comment section on YouTube. And if you want a really awesome thing to do that's going to challenge you, put you out of your comfort zone, if you really want something awesome, then in the description box on YouTube, or if you're listening to this on Spotify and on the podcast platforms, just go to bedroskeuilian.com/challenge and do my 6-week marathon challenge. It's absolutely free. There's a marathon happening everywhere across the world at any given time. And so you could sign up for a marathon, do the workouts that are programmed in there. Like I hired a marathon coach. You guys know the story. I hired a marathon. I'd never run before, ever, not even like half a mile. Haven't even fucking jogged half a mile. And I told myself this false story that, you know, I'm just built to lift weights and that's it. I was like, fuck you, dude. You're built to do whatever the fuck you want. You've just put yourself in this box and now you got to get out of it. And so I hired a marathon running coach and I said, hey, build me a 6-week running program. And I trained for 6 weeks, followed the nutrition program, the training program, and then I ran the San Diego Marathon, 26.2 miles. Proof that you can do anything that you set your mind to, even if you feel you are genetically not made for that thing. The human body, then the human mind, the psyche is so adaptable that you could achieve whatever the fuck you want. But you got to keep the promise. And so if you go to bedroskeuilian.com/challenge, you'll get the training program, you will get the nutrition program, and you will get 6 weeks of mindset and motivation from me absolutely free. All this is free. You pay absolutely nothing. Nothing. And if you're like, well, I don't want to pay for a marathon, I don't want to register for a marathon, I got you covered, motherfucker. I got you covered. You're going to get in your car and you're going to drive 13.1 miles, and then you're going to drive back 13.1 miles. And that just became your marathon path. So then what you're going to do is you're going to download this thing, the 6-week marathon challenge. Now that you've got your 26.2 miles charted out in your community, 13.1 miles out, 13.1 miles back gives you 26.2. So you got yourself a free marathon, you got yourself free training, you got yourself free nutrition programming, you got yourself free mindset and motivation, motherfucker. And if you do this and you keep the promise, and you actually do the marathon in 6 weeks, at the end of that 6 weeks, you will have met the highest version of yourself, the person that you're going to be proud of, the person that you admire, that you love, that you respect. And you're going to break so many limiting beliefs that you have that you are going to achieve much more of your goals in life in every category: relationship, money, mindset, purpose, meaning, all of it. So that's what I have for you guys. I want to appreciate you. Thank you for watching and listening to the Bedros Keuilian Show. And I also want to remind you this, that average is the enemy, success is your responsibility, and change can take place in an instant if you are willing to flip the switch. We'll see you next time.